So when you even start to talk about online advertising and paid ads, 99% of the times it is purely and directly about Google ads and meta ads. And you hear all of this talk about what works best and how to run them, how to run meta ads, how to run Google ads, but nobody tells you about what to actually use. What's the comparison? Which one is better? So in this video, we're gonna go over a full comparison of meta ads and Google ads, step by step breakdown. Let's start with what does it include, right? So Google ads will include the entire database of Google, the entire Google and YouTube. About meta ads, it includes Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Messenger, and WhatsApp partially as well. But then you might ask, is it just better to go to all of those apps because they're more? Well, this leads me to my second point, which is Google is a place where people search for you. So you can use search campaign on Google and your customer who actually wants to buy from you searches you up. He searches your service, which makes him more likely to buy from you. And in terms of Meta, Messenger, Instagram, people don't really search. It's very rarely when people really type in to search there, especially compared to Google ads. The way it works in Meta is just you place your ad to the audience who might be interested. You might target that audience, but it's not like they're searching for you in that exact moment. You just pop up on their feed, which also has their own benefits, which I will talk later. And now your opinion might change. You might say, hey, well, if people search for me and I appear there, it's very logical to choose Google ads instead of meta ads. I'll give you another point, which is it's more expensive to get a lead from Google than meta in general. And it is quite logical, right? More people think they search for me and I need to appear there. The more people go into that, the more people pay for it and bid for it. And of course, the higher price goes up. However, if we only think about cost per lead, which is just a person who raised their hand, who said, hey, I might be interested, I'm interested, give me that thing or book the call or something, that does not mean that they will fully convert to your business. Whether you are service-based business or you are other types of business, whether you go to them to do the job or they come to you, when a lead comes in, doesn't mean they will fully convert. Which means we're gonna go back to Team Google and say, hey, well, people actually search for you, so they more likely to convert because they want your service in that moment. So although the lead cost is high, the conversion cost is low. And that's what makes it so powerful. So now that you're on Team Google, let me convince you even more. When doing ads for niche businesses, so if you're a niche business, you operate in a very specific audience, you would only target them, or you're a very rare niche, Google Ads does make sense for you because we are very targeted and random people doesn't just want your service. They only would want your service if they would need it. Therefore, starting with Google Ads is absolutely no-brainer choice for niche businesses. Counterpoint to that is that not really a lot of people will search for you, which means you can't really scale it up if you're a niche business and you're also location-based business. If you're online business and you're niche business, you can scale it up infinitely. But if you're a very location-based business, until you open a second location, you cannot really expand your audience. And bringing to the other hand, you can now expand on meta ads. So if you're a niche business, if you do Google ads, you can expand. You can now transition or do an addition to your Google ads in meta so you can reach a higher amount of people. Matter of fact, you can also use that information from your website where people from Google ads converted, use that information in meta and show that ad to the similar people with similar characteristics. So you can do these things in meta, which is very powerful. Now let's go over what's easier to use, Google ads or meta ads. Now, by easier, I mean what's easier to set up because there's so much going on when you log into both of them. There's buttons and clicks and settings and optimizations and pixels, bunch of stuff. What's easier? To be fair, none of it is easy. All of it is basically on the same level. You have to set up for your tracking for both Meta ads, Google ads. You have to set up your audience, your locations. In Google ads, it's keywords. In Meta ads, it's creatives and headlines. All of that roughly takes you the same amount of energy and knowledge. But if we compare which one takes more time now this is another conversation because you also have to record your creatives and test different ones as well. So in Meta ads, you actually have to record it, or just snap a picture, edit it, and then upload it. On the other hand, in Google Ads, if you use search campaign, which 90% of people use, you just type in the headlines, which also takes some brain power, which also takes some time, but is not as time consuming as Meta ads. And keep in mind, running YouTube ads will be the same amount of time as running Meta ads because YouTube is Google in a sense as well. And you can run Google ads in YouTube. Now, the last thing I want to cover is what is best for local businesses and what is best for B2B businesses. There's no clear answer, of course, but I'm going to tell you what is possible for local businesses and what is possible for B2B businesses in those both things. So as we know, the easiest ads ever, the easiest way to set up ads, the greater return on investment is always gonna be with local businesses, always. Does not mean B2B doesn't work. I'm gonna expand later. But local businesses, if you're watching this, it is your opportunity. It is the easiest way. It is as if Meta ads and Google ads were specifically built for local business. So in terms of being local, it's absolutely amazing. You can emphasize it. You can target the location, which you need, right? As a local business, if you remind people that you're local, they will likely buy from you because they trust you. So you have your targeting, you have your location-based ads. You can make your ads very relevant to your location. It's absolutely amazing. Now, in terms of B2B businesses, the opportunities in Meta ads are slightly more. Why? Because you can do a two-step lead generation, which is you give them something free, so free ebook, free value, free video or explaining something because they're also a business. They would like to see that. That way you can get them opted in and then use their contact information to follow up with them. So in that sense, Meta ads has some advantages for B2B businesses. What is advantages in Google ads for B2B businesses is the YouTube ads. Entrepreneurs, early entrepreneurs, any type of entrepreneurs are always on YouTube, searching for knowledge, searching for stuff. And if you appear there, you will for sure convert them well. That being said, this was an end of our comparison of Meta ads and Google ads, which one's better and which one performs best. In the end, it all comes down to your service. Now you have all of the knowledge and which one to choose first and then maybe choose better. But they're also great supplements to each other as well. So recently I made a video on how we structure the Google ads and it gets 3 to 9x more results than just running Google ads as usual. If you want to see that, just click on this video and watch it there.